guys, welcome back to the channel. Boy do we have a tasty curry recipe for you today. It's one of Britain's favourite. It's often ordered in many Indian restaurants and its name centres around the idea of passion. Something that's intense, something that's super flavourful, something that's red in colour. What are we talking about? Well, we're talking about Rogan Josh. Rogan Josh is a favourite of many, and it's got to be, if it's Rogan Josh, it's got to be lamb. And this is a Kashmiri inspired dish, but as I said, it's a favourite in many British Indian restaurants. And I feature the recipe in my book, The Secret to That Takeaway Curry Taste. If you've not heard about that book, check it out in the link in the description, because the book exposes the inner workings of the British Indian restaurant takeaway and shows you how they make your favourite curries in about 10 minutes. It gives you everything you need to know, all the core preparations to making your favourite curries. Now today's curry is a slight amendment because we're not making it with the typical Bengali style base, we're making it with my Indian base, which gives this curry an almost desi style flavour. It really does. So let's get on with the cooking. So we got our pan on. It's just a typical aluminium pan. The recipe that we're cooking for you guys today is a recipe for two. This will serve two. We're going to go in with our oil. Now I'm using olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, but you can use whatever oil you like. I do get a few comments from people saying, oh, will that not make the curry taste of olive oil? No, it doesn't. I've been cooking with olive oil now for the last couple of years. You cannot detect it. If you're cooking spicy dishes, you cannot detect the flavour of the olive oil. And then people will often object and say, well, you know, olive oil, it's not got a high burn point. And that's correct, it hasn't. And you don't want to be getting any oil to smoke point. Once you get an oil to smoke point, no matter what oil it is, avocado oil, coconut oil, whatever it is, it impairs the oil and turns it toxic. Oil becomes toxic once it reaches smoke point, so you never really want to get there. And because of this base being already cooked, we don't need to get to smoke point. We do everything at a nice, leisurely, easy, steady pace. Nice and relaxed. So in with our peppers. Now, don't worry about the recipe and the ingredients. They will be in the video description below. So go and check that out, take a picture, and you've got everything you need to make this delicious Rogan Josh. So we just want to take the rawness of these peppers. We don't need to cook them for an extended period of time. Now I am cooking with a pre-cooked lamb here. And this is the recipe that's based on my pre-cooked lamb in my book. But I do have another recipe on YouTube, which is a variation. I'll post that in the link below if you want to know how to do that, because this makes a delicious pre-cooked lamb that you can then set aside and use to make any curry. And it takes an hour to make it. You can even freeze it in batches or bags and then just take it out as you need it. And that's the great thing about this style of curry cooking, because you can make a curry in about 6 to 7 minutes once you've got core preparations done. And that's how to get your curries from order to table in about 10 minutes. So our peppers are looking fine. They'll continue to cook obviously in the pan. So what we're going to do here at this stage is we're just going to add about 2 tablespoon amounts of garlic ginger paste. It's just garlic ginger 50-50. So I'm going to put 4 teaspoon amounts in. Really, we're just wanting to wait for the sizzle. Once we hear the sizzle go down, we know that our garlic ginger is cooked. Now I'm going to take a good pinch, probably like a level teaspoon amount of methi leaves. And I'm just going to rub them in my hands and just break it up a little bit. It helps to release the oils of the methi leaves and just helps release more flavour. Now we're going with another special ingredient which many of you guys, if you've been following me for a while, know about, and that's my homemade tomato paste. So this is not tomato puree, this is my own made tomato paste, and it's a super simple recipe. Again, this is the sort of thing you can make in batches and freeze and use when you want. It takes 20 minutes to make it, and the results are fantastic because this is a tomatoey curry and it really does take this Rogan Josh over the top. Again, I'll post a link to a video. It's a Madras recipe that shows you in that video how to make this tomato paste. But we're going to go with 4 tablespoon amounts of this tomato paste. It's these little extra things that you do that just make your curries taste phenomenal. Now, this tomato paste is already cooked. Like our base, we do not need to cook the acidity out of it. We do not need to cook at high temperatures. Just steady away in the pan there. Just bring it in with the other ingredients. So now we can go in with our spices. So Rogan Josh is supposed to be nice and red, and therefore we're going to use a nice Kashmiri chili powder, which is not hot, but it's got lots of deep red colour, and it will add a nice red colour to our curry. So we're just going to use 1 sort of heaped teaspoon amount of Kashmiri chili powder, 2 level teaspoons, so 1 per person, of my mixed powder. Again, my recipe for mixed powder is in my book, but there's loads of recipes on YouTube. If you can't get mixed powder, or you don't want to faff with mixed powder, you can use a Mild Madas, Raja Mild Madas curry powder, which is quite good. So 2 of them in. And then we're going to put in our salt. We've got about 1/3 of a teaspoon of salt, but according to your taste, I'm trying to eat less salt these days, but you put as much salt in as you like. So just bring them spices in. We do want to cook those spices out to get the flavours, so we do need sort of a medium-high heat just to get the spices to release their flavours. But already, guys, just take a look in the pan. How good is that looking? So we've got some oil separation. That tells me that all those spices are cooked nicely. So we're going to add in our pre-cooked lamb. Now, this is ½ a kilo, so 500 grams of pre-cooked lamb. That's pre-cooked weight. Straight into our pan. And then we just want to bring that in with our spices and the tomato paste. And you'll notice, guys, that I'm cooking with my aluminium pan with a wooden spatula. You can use a metal one. I've got a metal one here. I use this more for measurement these days when I'm using this base, because with the old style of base, you've got to scrape the residue off the side of the pan because you're cooking at higher temperatures, but you don't need to do that with this base. Now, with this style of base, water is your friend, because as I've explained already, it's a reverse base. So rather than reducing the base and reducing the water out of it, we add it in, which is how we get the desired consistency that we want. But we only add it in small amounts at a time, so we don't swamp the curry, just like that. And already that's looking like not far off the finished result, but obviously we need to add our base. Remember, the rule of thumb with this base is literally a 30-gram chef spoon, which is like that, which is probably about 2½ tablespoons. We just take 2 of them, because this is a recipe for 2. 1, 2, and that's it. This base is great because it takes up less space in your freezer, and you've got curries on hand in minutes. And yeah, I love cooking curries from scratch. I've done a whole series of curries from scratch. I'm going to do more after we've exhausted this for a little while, this base. So, it's horses for courses. There's lots of ways of doing things. But if you want a curry really quickly, and you just fancy a good curry and you don't want to spend a good hour or 2 in the kitchen, you can knock this up once you've taken the things out of the freezer, your tomato paste, your base, even your pre-cooked meat. You get that out the night before, you've got a curry up and running in 6 to 7 minutes. So our base is in now. And remember, it's cooked. We don't really need to do anything with it. All we're doing is marrying all these ingredients in the pan together. But we do need to add in our tomatoes, because where would a Rogan Josh be without tomatoes? So I've got 2 medium tomatoes cut into quarters. So just submerge them tomatoes in our sauce. They don't need long, 2-3 minutes. Now, we have another secret weapon with our Rogan Josh. Rogan Josh typically has a sweet undernote to it. Not overly sweet, it's not a tikka masala or anything like that, but it does have a sweet undernote, which really helps to balance out the flavors. Remember, with curry, it's all about balance, isn't it? You're salty, you're sweet, you're sour, you're bitter, you're spicy, and it just really then has a lovely effect on the palate. So we're just going to put in 2 teaspoons. It's usually 1 for 1 portion, so we're going to go with 2, as this is a recipe for 2. Mango chutney. And I'm using the mango chutney. It's a Patak's one that's got bits in it, because I don't mind a few of the bits of mango in there. And that will just take this Rogan Josh to another level. So we're going to cook that for about another minute now. Now we've added in the mango chutney. And in a minute, we'll add in our final 2 ingredients, namely our yogurt, which will add a nice tartness and create a more velvet tasting sort of sauce on the palate, which is really nice, and our garam masala. So it's been another minute. Now have a look in the pan. You see it's quite a thick sauce. I would like a little bit more sauce. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water. I've just had my spoon in that, that's why it's a bit murky. But just a little bit of water to just get the consistency that you want. That looks about right to me. It's a thick sauce, but it's not, we're not sort of quite at Boona levels yet there. So now with our yogurt, we're just going to put in 2 tablespoons of natural yogurt. Bring that in. Now we're going to add our garam masala, and we really just want about half a teaspoon. You don't need a lot of this, so just put that in. So that's done. We'll just leave it now for another minute on a very low heat, just to allow a little bit of oil separation. Then we'll serve it up, and I'll do the taste test, and I'll try my best to describe to you what this lamb Rogan Josh, this curry with passion, tastes like. Looking sauce, take a look at that, guys. So let's just taste it. Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow, oh wow, that is so good. That has a sort of sweet undertone, not just from the mango chutney, but from the tomatoes. And tomatoes, yes, fresh tomatoes that we put in there, but also my tomato paste, which just is reminiscent of the curries I used to get at the Punjab Tandoori on Wilmslow Road, because they made their own tomato paste, and the chef told me how they did it, and I've sort of copied it really. And it just gives it a more home style taste rather than the sort of typical taste that you get from tomato puree, which is okay, but this just tastes so much better. And because Rogan Josh is a tomatoey curry, it really, really works with this tomato paste, guys. You've got to make it with that paste. Let's have another little taste and see how I can describe to you the spiciness of this curry. You can taste the red Kashmiri chili powder. It's just got a bit of a background kick at the back of your throat, but it's not hot. This is not a hot curry. It's sort of a medium spiced curry, but I can taste that garam masala. You can taste that garam masala does add a little bit of heat to it as well, especially when you add it in at the end. You can taste the black pepper, you can taste the cinnamon, you can taste the cloves. They just sort of lift the whole curry really. That's why it's nice to add it in at the end. We've got a piece of our lamb here. Take a look at that. Let's taste that. So tender. And because of the spices that I use in that pre-cooked lamb, you've got a complex sort of flavour in the lamb as well. It's not just lamb. Sometimes with these pre-cooked meats that you use in takeaways and restaurants, They really are cooked to death and they're dry, and sometimes there's not a lot of flavour there. But the way I show you how to do it in my book, but also in the video that I'll link below, you get flavour in the lamb. And don't forget to use some of the leftover residual juices that you've cooked the lamb in into the curry, because that adds another layer of flavour. It's all about building layers of flavour to get an amazing tasting curry. This is phenomenal. You've got to try it. Go and cook that this weekend, guys, and tell me what you think about it. Tell me if that's not the best lamb Rogan Josh you've ever tasted, especially when you make it with this base. If you're new to this channel, you just found me, subscribe and hit the bell notification button, because you'll get alerted as I make new videos. But until next time, you know what I'm going to say as always, don't you? That's it. Happy currying.